Hello and welcome to Are You Ready? I'm your host, Randy Major. Joining me again this week is owner and president of Asset Guard, Mike Carpenter. Hello again, Mike.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
And we have a new face with us this week.
Yes, this is Darlene Schroeder.
Hello,
Hi,
Darlene.
Randy.
It's so nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
We've been having some great shows over the past few weeks, and Mike has talked about you and your team, and I am so excited for the viewers to get to know you in your role in Asset Guard.
Well, what we've done, as I've shared in previous episodes, that we're a very relational company.
Yes.
And once we establish all the financial planning tools and everything is done and they're well on their way to enjoying their retirement, we now want to help them unlock some of those things that they may never have done before. Because when everything's done and you're sitting on your screened-in porch in that perfect house you've built and you're talking to your dearest friend, you talk sometimes about the things that you never did. And that's one of the things that Darlene's going to be doing with our clients.
So Darlene, how did you get here? How did you get involved with Mike, and what is your background?
Well, I've just been in the United States just short of 3 years, and I went to one of his retirement talks because I need to be informed, and all the jargon is different and the paperwork is different, and so I took myself off to one of Mike's talks, and I've had financial advisors in different parts of the world, and I've had interactions, and I was very taken with the person that he is and what he offers and how personable and relational he is. And I just thought this is an American thing, and I've soon found out that it's not. He's a very, very unique person. And so I felt comfortable enough to actually meet with Mike and have come to know and to trust him and take advice from him. So much so that I would probably call him up for just about anything that I need right now because I trust him and have got to know him that way. And so that's how we connected. And then Mike's bliss is the financial security and assets. And my bliss is my mission and my love is to see people live their dreams. And so I'm a life coach and a certified master coach. And just that's how we connected. And Mike was wanting to incorporate this into his, into Asset Guard. And we've had conversations that really Asset Guard believes that the client, the person that you are your greatest asset.
Yes.
And what you bring to the world is so completely unique as your fingerprint, that you have something so beautiful to bring, and that our clients, we want them to end well, to end living out what their purpose, what their plan is, and to be intentional about that.
Wow.
Mike has all through the segments that you've done, I've heard him emphasize how important planning is and building that blueprint, right? And so building your purpose and planning for your purpose is just as important. And we all know that old sentence that says, failing to plan is planning to fail. And why do we neglect to put such intention behind who we are and what we bring to this world?
You are just, I mean, my eyes are kind of welling up here, actually. You're really striking a chord with me, and I'm not approaching my retirement years yet, but you know, sometimes we're just going through the days, right? We're getting the things done that we need to get done. We're checking off the to-do list.
Yes.
But what about our true purpose? Sometimes we don't even know what that is.
Yes.
And so this is
my
so
bliss.
special. This is so special. And I've never seen this before, combining, and it just makes so much sense because, you know, we work, we save, we save. well, now it's time to relax and enjoy those years, but it sometimes can be intimidating. Can I do these things? Am I going to have enough money? So this combination is so special, and I'm so happy to have you here to hear more, but my goodness, so awesome. So at what point does Darlene come in? So a person would come in for an appointment, they'd meet with you, you'd talk about, you know, you'd have your MRI, if you
Yes.
will, of your portfolio, right?
Yep.
And walk me through it.
Well, after they know that everything is in place financially, that we've discussed, and they're happy and everything's been signed off on, then we'll then take the steps to bring Darlene in and have her start asking questions. You know, what have they not accomplished in life? Because we don't want anyone living a life of regret.
Wow.
And so she has a way of pulling those things out of us. And I'm so thankful that God brought Darlene in our path. And now we can go on our journey together, helping the rest of North Carolina.
Darlene, talk to me about some of the meetings you've had with your clients.
Well, what we generally do, we have a workshop, and we'll throw an hour, sometimes a 3 hour, and we just throw ourselves into what would we really love, and what have we missed? What is it that we are feeling is unfinished?
Yeah.
What are our relationships look like? What would we love more of, or what do we need to work on? What do we want to do with our time, with our money? Where do we want to take all of the expertise that we have gained? They're calling this the new age of retirees, the baby boomers. And they are the most qualified, capable, able people, and they bring a mountain of knowledge and wisdom and absolute love into the world that is not going out to pasture. This is not the ending of a story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, and it's the end race. And we want to run with each of our clients and finish the race well.
Wow.
You know, again, we know the story. It's not how you start the race; it's how you finish it.
Wow.
And that is my and Mike and Asset's got great delight to see clients live their purpose. You know, doesn't matter what the bank account says, but that you get to do and to spend and to be the person that you feel you were intended to be.
I love this so much. And we're already at the end of our first segment, but I can't wait to hear more. So Mike, if you would, you know, I know there's a lot of people watching at home that think, my goodness, this is speaking right to me. This is what I need. This is what I'm missing. How can they get an appointment with you?
Simply dial 844-546-1009 and set a time where we can sit down and conveniently talk about all the things that are important to you, and ultimately meet with Darlene to help create that final chapter of your life, the best time of your life.
Thank you. Well, folks, we are going to take a very short commercial break, but we are going to come back with Darlene and Mike with so much more. But don't miss out on this opportunity today. What they're offering you is a chance to come in completely complimentary, obligation-free. It cannot hurt to come in and just get a second look or get the ball rolling. Mike and Darlene want you to live the retirement of your dreams. So give us a call, 844-546-1009, and secure one of those appointments. We will be right back after this quick commercial break. Stay tuned.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Are we going to?
Welcome back to Are You Ready? I'm your host, Randy Major. Joining me today from Asset Guard, our owner and president, Mike Carpenter, and retirement and life coach, Darlene Schroeder. So happy to be sitting here with both of you today. And right before I went to the break, we were talking about an interesting statistic about the most productive years. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Or a recent article in the New England Journal of Medicine, they identified the most productive years of anyone's life is 60 to 70. The second most productive is 70, 80, and the third most productive is 50 to 60. And that just happens to be the 3 decades of our average client.
Right.
And helping anyone that comes into our office, it doesn't matter what their background is, they all have a gift that God has given them. Have they fully developed it? Have they suppressed their life dreams? And when they get in with Darlene, she's going to help unlock all of those.
Yes, I mean, life is, we're working, we have kids, we have sports, you're just going, and we're tired. Sometimes we're neglecting our health a little bit in order to accomplish all of these things. So now when it's time to retire, it's like maybe some folks feel a little lost. Is that what you find?
Yeah, I think that you get we get our identity from the things that we do. Mm-hmm. We find our relationships in the workplace. We ground ourselves. Mm-hmm. We feel welcome. We're working for retirement, but that's the goalpost. And then we retire. Then 3-4 months, generally, I'm reading that retirees go back to work, part-time or full-time, because they feel a lack of purpose. Yeah. And they're wanting to find that grounding again. So they go towards that. But what Mike was referring to is so true. We look at so many people that we can see got into those 40s and 50s and 60s and actually found there what I call your bliss, your purpose. Yeah. I mean, we look at Martha Stewart, started her empire in her 40s, and Julia Child, well into her 40s. Mm-hmm. Ray Koch from McDonald's, he was, I think, late 50s. Colonel Sanders, 65. We have Grandma Moses, who at the age of 78 painted her first painting. Lived till 101, and in 2006, one of her paintings sold for $1.2 million.
Wow.
And so there's just so much to be seen and to be done, and we have dreams and visions that we've taught we haven't got time for that. And I'm busy bringing up children, I'm busy doing that and seeing to that, and there are books to be written, there are stories to be heard, there are adventures to be had. And lives that have largely gone unlived.
Wow. I'll tell you, this is just so amazing. I have never seen this before. You guys are the dynamic duo of retirement. I'm quoting it right now. I mean, this is what we're missing, is you, Darlene, and what you can bring out. Now, do you find most people how do you find what their purpose is? What if they just have no idea?
That's very common.
Yeah.
Because we learn we all have a still quiet voice. Yeah. And we don't often sit and listen to the still quiet voice. And while that breath is breathing us, that still quiet voice is speaking. Mm-hmm. And we just need to still ourselves. And I think we always start with, what would I really love? Yeah. What would I really love in my life, family relationships? What would I love with my time? What would I love to bring to my community, to my people? What makes me feel alive when my feet hit the ground? Whether it's working in my garden or growing trees and plants or going to the local home in my neighborhood doing pedicures. What is it that lights me up and gives me purpose?
So how long has Darlene been a part of the team, Mike?
Just recently,
Yeah.
we've formed this partnership.
Okay.
And I'm so excited. Even just sitting here, I'm thinking about my own life purpose was actually formulated by my mom. And before her passing, she always was taking care of everybody else. I mean, to her own health detriment, but being one of 6 kids, every night at the dinner table, there was always an extra kid in the neighborhood sitting there. And I could just imagine when she was in the hospital, which she was in over 60 times over her life, she was probably visiting other people on her hall, even though she wasn't feeling well, because that's who she was. And my life purpose, even though I'm a retirement planner, is not to retire, because I want to see people through their life until God takes my last breath from me. See, Jesus said in John 10:10, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. The abundance has nothing to do with money. Even though he talked a lot about money in the Bible, it's when your heart is at peace, everything is settled, and you know that your path has been established.
So wonderful. Darlene, how's it been for you? I mean, this has been just such a lovely transition. And how does it feel when you do help someone? What is that feeling like for you?
Well, it is my dream and it is my purpose. And as Mike has his story, I refer very briefly to my father and my parents. My father's South African, my mother American, and went to South Africa as missionaries. And that's where I grew up. But my dad never quite got to his retirement. But he was an incredibly giving and loving person, an excellent teacher. But something that he did just before he died was he started writing a book. It was a series of letters back and forth between him and God and kind of to his people, you know. And we printed the book and he had it out, and when he died very suddenly, we've kept this book and it's had more and more and more and more prints. But the most amazing thing about it is that in that book is just the most amazing legacy. And it encapsulates his purpose, one of the things that he left. And the grandchildren that never got to meet him know him through those books, through that book.
Wow. So amazing. Well, folks at home, we have to take another quick commercial break, but I would love for you to take advantage of this opportunity of what Mike and Darlene are offering. Just a tremendous, tremendous opportunity to come in and really, really live out your last chapter exactly how you dream for it to be. So, Mike, let's remind the viewers today of what you have for them.
Call 844-546-1009 to establish that connection with my staff so we can set a time where we can meet and go over your life goals. And just bring everything that you need to have addressed, and we will sit down and have a conversation to help you establish your dreams.
Thank you. Okay, viewers at home, we're going to take a very short commercial break, but we encourage you to stay tuned. We have more with Mike and with Darlene. That number is on your screen. Go ahead and pick up the phone now. It's 844-546-1009. We will be right back after this quick break.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, We can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back to Are You Ready? My name is Randy Major, and joining me today from Asset Guard are Mike Carpenter, owner and president, and Darlene Schroeder. And Darlene, let's remind the viewer of what your role is at Asset Guard.
I'm a retirement coach and a life mastery consultant, and I help everyday people and retirees plan for their best life and so that they fulfill their dreams and their purpose.
Yeah. And before you came to Asset Guard, before Mike and yourself connected, what was your background? Were you just doing this independently?
Yes, I
Okay.
have been doing it independently.
Very interesting. I'm sure you have so many amazing moments with clients, and what a just very fulfilling career.
Yes, it is, and it's becoming more and more so as we collaborate and move towards really helping people entering their retirement not have no regrets.
Right. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to have just a mediocre retirement. No one wants to just say, okay, it's my time to stop working and I'm just going to watch Oprah all day. I mean,
Exactly.
We want to live. We want
Yeah.
to live these years. But it can be very intimidating, both financially and both when you have worked in a workplace so long and almost lost yourself.
Yes, you end up feeling beholden. You've got to stay to get your retirement, and then when you get it, it's
Now what?
yes,
Now what?
yes.
As life ticks by, the tick-tock, tick-tock, well, unfortunately, we're seeing a tick-tock mentality happening among people that are retired, staying home, they have nothing to do. What do you see them doing? They sit there and they're swiping up. They're looking at things.
Other people's lifestyle.
Other people's lifestyle, other people's dreams.
Yes.
There's a lot of crazy things on there,
Yeah.
but they're trying to live in their reality, and that alter reality when we want them to live a real life.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want anyone going home to sit on a rocking chair. We want them to go home and just experience the fullness, but having that security that the Asset Guard GPS plan is in place, and no matter what happens, whether the war continues on, whether inflation rages on, whether they raise taxes, no matter what happens, their plan is rock solid so they can enjoy their life, enjoy their kids, their grandkids, their friends, their church, whatever they want to do.
No matter how choppy the waters get, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's coming. But if they come in and get that solid plan and then go on to talk to Darlene, I mean, all these things, sure, life can happen around us, but it doesn't mean we have to live in fear or we have to say goodbye to our bucket list that, things that we may have, dreamt of doing for years and years, right?
Well, during COVID, people came in and I remained open. Obviously, we were careful, we were respectful, and if someone came in and they were wearing a mask, I'd ask, do you want me wearing a mask? And most of the time they'd say no. But ever since that event, I have been trying to tell people, live your life. Don't be afraid of what's going on, because God ordains your days.
Right.
And of course, clients were coming in and said, look, your money is safe no matter what happens. When that first 30% drop happened in February of 2000 or 2020, my clients weren't worrying. And my clients aren't calling us in saying, what's going on with things right now? Because they know that the plan is there. It's working for them. And I keep referring everybody. I said, enjoy your life. Go out and do stuff for your kids. Go up and walk around Pilot Mountain. I mean, I've gone up there many times to just reflect on life. I'll look out over the Piedmont area that you're seeing there in that picture and ask God, am I doing what you want me doing? And many, every time he confirms, you're doing exactly what I designed you to do. Take care of people.
Now, do you find since the pandemic in the last 2 years, are you finding people want to retire even earlier? I mean, and our retirement now has to live, maybe or last 30 odd years.
Well, the exciting thing is, and I've done this many times, when they come in, I'll have people say, I just don't think I can ever retire. And as a matter of fact, one of those people now works for me. Sherry came in, her husband, she had come to one of our programs a number of years ago, and last couple years ago when her husband died, actually I think in 2020 he passed away, and she came in at the end of the year for a review, and she said, Mike, I think I need to go back to work. And I said, well, let's look at your GPS plan. And I showed her, said, look, you're not going to ever run out of money based on your current lifestyle. And then it was probably 2 weeks later, I said, she may have a good fit, and now she's working with, she's my client coordinator. And so she comes to all our events, she introduces me, she calls our clients and gathers information and really makes the appointment process much easier so that there's not as much of a burden to come in and worry what I'm bringing. She helps set the tea for me.
Right. So we're already coming to the end of the show. What I want to know is from both of you, I want to hear from both of you. If someone is watching today and they're just on the fence, they're intimidated or they're nervous or, they're just too afraid to take the leap, what words of advice would you both give them?
Go ahead, Darlene.
Well, there's a saying that a ship that hasn't set its sails is unlikely to meet its destination. Set your sails, set a direction, be purposeful, be intentional, take a step. If we're not the right fit, take another step in the right direction, but do something. Don't just sit.
Right.
Don't just sit on the couch.
And that
Good
brings
advice.
us to why I have the lighthouse as my logo. Because what does a lighthouse represent? It's the path to safety. When that ship is out on stormy seas, the captain's looking for that lighthouse because he knows there's a safe harbor close by. And that's what Asset Guard does.
What a wonderful show. I really, really enjoyed that. And the viewers at home, I hope you sure did too. What Mike and Darlene are offering you is just, it's invaluable. It's your retirement. Live it with purpose. Live it to the fullest. And give the number on your screen a call right now so you can secure your complimentary consultation. That number again is 844-546-1009. Thanks again for joining us this week, and we'll see you right here next week.